Hi everyone, I'm Curt Frye, and this is the last video in this course that I have created, and it's about hiding and finding workbook information. The techniques that I show you here will not be something that you use every day, but they come up often enough that I thought it was worth mentioning. So I'm going to start by showing you how to find a workbook's path, that is, where to find it on your computer or on your network connection, and also how to do what's called superhiding a worksheet. So let's see how those work. So I've opened my sample file, and let's say that for maybe some Excel VBA programming, that I need to have the exact paths of this file in a formula or in a VBA command somewhere. I can find that information by going to the File tab and then the Info page. So here I am in Backstage View, and if you have a recent version of Excel, then you see here at the top that you have the option to copy the path. So I'll click that, and then click the Go Back button, and then in cell B11, I'll press Ctrl-V to paste, and there you have the full path to my file. So it's on my C drive, and I'll click away so the highlight isn't there, and you can see the rest of it. So that is how you get the network, or in this case, the direct address of a file that is on your computer. If you have an older version of Microsoft Excel or Windows, then there's another technique that you can use. So I'm going to switch to my exercise files folder, and I'm going to shift right click one of the other files. So I'll hold down the shift key and I'll do 3-1 times and dates. So right shift click, and you can see here that I have the option to copy as path. So I'll click that and then go back to my sample file here, and then with B13 selected, I'll press Ctrl-V to paste it in, and I get the address for that file. So if you have an older version of Excel and you want to get the path of a file that's somewhere on your system, then you can do so by going into File Explorer. Now let's talk about the second technique that I mentioned earlier, and that is superhiding a worksheet. So you probably know how to hide and unhide a worksheet, but just in case you don't, I will show you how to do it. The way that I've set up this workbook is that in cells G5 through G9, I have the tax due based on the sales that are in column F. And the tax rate is found on sheet 2 here in cell A2. So you can see that it's 20%. Now let's see what happens if I hide sheet 2, because the tax rate might not be something that I want to share. So I will right-click sheet 2 and then click hide. And I'm back in sheet 1, but you see that the formulas are still there, and also that the reference appears to sheet 2 in the formula bar. So if someone knows how to unhide that worksheet, and in this case that would be right-clicking sheet 1, click unhide, and then unhide one or more sheets. And a fairly recent change is that you can unhide multiple sheets in the same operation. So make sure sheet 2 is selected, click OK, and it's back. So if someone knows how to display sheet 2, they can do so, and it only takes a few clicks. You can make it even harder for them to do that by superhiding it. And for that, you need to use the Visual Basic Editor. So I'll press Alt F11 to move to the Visual Basic Editor. And then I'll make sure that the Sheet 2 worksheet is selected, and it appears here in the Properties window. The bottom option in the Properties window, or Properties panel here, is Visibility. So I'll click in the visible value cell here, and then click the down arrow. And at the very bottom, we have option 2, which is Excel Sheet Very Hidden. So I'll click that, and you can see that the worksheet, even though it appears here, is no longer visible in the workbook proper on the tab bar. So I will close the Visual Basic Editor. And now I will right-click Sheet 1, and you see that Unhide is not available. That means that you cannot unhide the sheet simply by right-clicking another sheet tab and using the shortcut menu that you see here. Of course, when one of the cells that uses the value in a formula is selected, then the user can still see that there is a sheet named Sheet 2 somewhere in the workbook. It's just that they're not able to unhide it. And yes, you can set a password for the Visual Basic project and require that to be in place if you really don't want someone getting to it. But adding passwords to Excel workbooks that you use all the time can be dangerous, because if you forget it, it's almost impossible to guess the password or to crack it. But even so, what I've shown you here will keep your data away from all but the most determined and knowledgeable users. So thanks again for working through this series of videos, or just this video if you wanted to pick up some specific skills. I'm Curt Frye, and if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. There will be more videos coming soon.